Good evening and thank you for joining us for 27 Tonight. I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. We begin with our big story. Drug addiction here in Cayman is a serious problem, according to experts. In this, the first in a series of special reports, Cayman 27's Paul Kennedy speaks to one former Miss Cayman contestant whose life fell apart because of an addiction to cocaine. Some viewers may find the following report distressing.
It gradually takes its toll. It affects you in every aspect of your life. You never have it together once you're using it.
Leticia Jarrett talks openly about her addiction to cocaine. Her life has changed so much since appearing in the Miss Cayman competition back in 1997.
Oh, I wish I never did try that drug. I had a wonderful upbringing. My mother, she worked very hard and she's given us everything. It's just sometimes we feel that we have to go our own little path. I went the wrong way.
Leticia really did go the wrong way.
I find myself sometimes going full 24 hours straight using cocaine, and it's just continuous. It's like a non-stop. It's always wanting to maintain that high. And whenever I come off, it's the reality of my life, and it's like I cannot face it.
The loss of her children into care was a catalyst that started her downward spiral.
It was a shield in a way for what I was going through, but it only seemed to destroy me more.
It wasn't just her life that was being destroyed.
I lost my family. Been to prison. Spent almost 4 years of my life in prison because of my drug addiction. It's not something to say that I like.
And it was an expensive habit to feed.
For me personally, I personally would spend about $200 a day.
There was little she wouldn't do to get money. Eventually she was jailed for a series of burglaries.
It's not a great feeling. I feel like I'm violating that person's space, because all the personal stuff you're going through, that's their personal things, that's their life.
Now she's trying to get her own life back on track.
Mostly right now I'm to the point where I'm trying to get back to the point of knowing who I am because of my addiction.
No small task.
It can be painful. And it's always a battle every day I get up to say, well, let me try to make it through today without using.
One small battle to win the war against cocaine addiction. Paul Kennedy, Cayman 27.
Since our interview was made, Ms. Jarrett has left rehabilitation of her own accord and her whereabouts are currently unknown. If you or someone you know has a problem with drug addiction, they can call Brent Hides from the Hope for Today Foundation on 928-9099. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 27 Tonight. I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. We begin with our big story, cocaine in Cayman. Drug addiction can often lead you down a long and winding road to a very lonely and depressing place. In her second in a series of special reports, Cayman 27's Paul Kennedy meets a man who has been hooked on crack cocaine for almost 30 years. Some viewers may find the following report distressing.
Cocaine has a more evil twin brother. It's called crack. A simple mix of cocaine, bicarbonated soda and distilled water crystallizes the drug into rock form. Highly addictive, incredibly dangerous, and here in Cayman, dirt cheap and a huge problem.
It's a really big problem here. Yeah.
Tony Ebanks should know he's used for more than half his life.
I've been on and off of it now for probably the last 28, 29 years. And there were times that I tried stopping on my own and stuff. And I was never really successful with that.
Buying the drug isn't a problem, on one condition.
It's easy to get hold of once you have money.
And it's not really that much money to begin with.
That was all I basically needed was the $10, to get a fix.
But one is just never enough.
It never took long with the crack. I tried it once and I was hooked. I wanted it every day. I wanted it every minute of the day.
And he'd do anything to get it.
I sold my personal things. And when that was all gone, then I would sell stuff that belongs to you.
Despite knowing what he was doing wasn't right, it never stopped Tony.
All I cared about was just getting that next high.
But his advice to others thinking of taking this path?
Crack cocaine is It's a drug that I would tell anybody not to use.
But he did. So why did Tony use it for so long? Was it something he liked?
Thinking back on it now, I thought I did. And, well, actually I did. I did. But it always, it progressed. And I got addicted to it. And it made me do things like steal, burglarize homes, con people.
Almost 30 years of his life wasted, but now he says he's clean. The hard work is only just beginning to prevent walking down that road again. Paul Kennedy, Cayman 27.
With the help of the Hope for Today Foundation, Mr. Ebanks has been drug-free since moving into their house in West Bay 2 months ago. He's also found employment with a local boat operator. And if you or someone you know has a problem with drug addiction, they can call Brent Hides from the Hope for Today Foundation on 928-9099. That number again is 928-9099. You can view this story online at Cayman27.ky, where you can also find the story of a former Miss Cayman contestant addicted to cocaine. Our special look at cocaine in Cayman continues tomorrow. Continuing now with our special series looking at the problem of cocaine in Cayman, the Hope for Today Foundation offers a recovery program for men and women who find themselves struggling with addiction. Cayman 27's Paul Kennedy met the man behind the scheme.
Addiction is not prejudice. It will take you as a hostage for the rest of your life. And some people will be lucky enough to get out of it, and some people will die in it.
Brent Hides offers a helping hand, but only to those who want one.
Our halfway houses are here to support anyone that is seriously seeking to work a recovery program.
Few know the dangers of drugs better than Brent. He's been there.
But I have done some stuff that no normal human being in their right minds will do. I have done stuff like steal. I have took from my mother. I have took from all members of my family. I have gotten to the point where society had kind of written me off. I have done some desperate stuff.
But now he gets a natural high from watching people kick the habit.
The pleasure I get at all this is to see someone come in here beaten, broke down, hopeless, and to see them come in and work recovery. And after a few months, they're here with a big smile on their face, talking about how grateful they are for the foundation, and most of all, to be sober.
And there are success stories.
We've had between 12 and 13 people that have came through this program that today is working a good recovery program, has full-time employment, have their own cars, and they're living life beyond their wildest dreams, I'm sure.
With 2 houses, one for men and one for women, he has no doubt the need is there.
Drug and alcohol is a huge problem in Cayman. From where I'm sitting, I watch it destroying the youths now and before.
He plans to continue schooling Cayman's youth to get his message across.
Education is the key. What we must continue to do is to focus on our youths, that particularly that they don't have to go down the road that me and myself and many other people have gone.
But he knows it's no easy fix.
As time go on, it's going to get worse.
It's an uphill struggle for Brent, but for those wanting help, his door is always open. Paul Kennedy, Cayman 27.
If you or someone you know has a problem with drug addiction, they can call Brent Hides from the Hope for Today Foundation on 928-9099. That number again is 928-9099. You can view this story online at Cayman27.ky, where you can also find the story of a former Miss Cayman contestant addicted to cocaine and a man who's been using crack cocaine for almost 30 years. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 27 Tonight. I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. We begin with our big story. Drug users who commit crime are not necessarily sent to prison here in Cayman. Instead, some may pass through the Drug Rehabilitation Court program in a bid to turn their lives around. In the latest part of our Cocaine in Cayman series, Cayman 27's Paul Kennedy meets the coordinator of the scheme.
Crime certainly does not pay, but it could help change people's lives for the better. That's the goal of the Drug Rehabilitation Court.
Get their drug addiction sorted, addressed, and try to rehabilitate them so they can be re-entered into society and hopefully not commit an offence again.
If successful, their convictions could be quashed, giving offenders a clean slate in the future.
The benefit of coming through the drug court, if you're successful, is not only have you managed to clear your life up and address the addiction that was fueling your criminal behaviour, but you may have your matters expunged.
So is it working?
I would say it is working, and it is working because it is an alternative to just putting someone back into prison and letting them out again, recognizing that they do have a drug problem and that's something that needs to be addressed.
And it's not just those who commit crimes that benefit.
Well, one might see it as a reward. However, if you understand a little bit more about addiction and delve into the lives of these persons, you'll see that it really is a problem, not only for themselves, but the community and their family and people around them.
Not everyone is eligible.
So we're not just opening the floodgates for everybody who wants a nice record. What we're really about are people who want to be helped and want to change their lives.
She says certain criteria are in place that must be met. Around 500 people have applied, with only half accepted. Of those, about a quarter complete the programme.
And if addiction is fueling your criminal behaviour, then you're a candidate for the drug court and could possibly be helped by the programme offered through the drug court.
The programme lasts a year and addresses many issues during that period. With more than 70 completing the course, it doesn't come cheap.
It's very expensive to run, and as a result of that, we don't want to waste resources.
But if it reduces crime, stops drug addiction and creates a better Cayman, then maybe it's money well spent. Paul Kennedy, Cayman 27.
If you or someone you know has a problem with drug addiction, they can call Brent Hides from the Hope for Today Foundation on 928-9099. That number again is 928-9099. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 27 Tonight. I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. We begin with our big story in our final part of our series, Cocaine in Cayman. We take a look at the work being done by Caribbean Haven. The government-funded rehabilitation unit treats people with all forms of addiction. But as Cayman 27's Paul Kennedy finds out, one drug stands out high above the rest.
I would say that it accounts for about 50% of the people that we treat at Caribbean Haven. Crack, primarily.
That's Esther Taylor, clinical supervisor at Caribbean Haven, talking about cocaine, and in particular, cocaine in its rock form.
It's one of the most difficult things that we deal with is the crack.
But deal with it they do, here at Caribbean Haven near Breakers.
You know, supply and demand. People want it, they can get it.
And the state of abuse here in Cayman?
It seems to be, it is a bit of a crisis, I think, in some ways.
Strong words indeed, but Mrs. Taylor would know. She's seen enough users come through Caribbean Haven.
I mean, you know, you have people that drink, you have people that smoke ganja, those kinds of things, but crack cocaine seems to be one of the easiest drugs that they relapse on.
But what can be done to stop this epidemic spiraling out of control?
Well, there's a lot of things that I wish could happen. Part of it is around job development, part of it is around education. Those are all critical things.
Clients tend to pass through her centre for about 6 months at a time. She hopes she will never see them again.
We have raw numbers, but we don't have any actual data. I would say that our success rate at Caribbean Haven, and it depends on how you define success. For me, success is just them getting through the program, getting a job.
The centre can house 30 people. Today, less than half that are going through a program.
You have to understand that our population at the treatment center is very fluid. I mean, it goes up, it goes down. It's just kind of, it's never just stable.
Despite describing cocaine in Cayman as a crisis, Mrs. Taylor is pleased another drug hasn't yet reared its ugly head. That's methamphetamine.
But thank goodness not a lot of people here have shown any real interest in it, and I'm very grateful for that because it's a horrible, if we think cocaine is bad, meth is 100 times worse.
Thankful for small mercies, perhaps. Paul Kennedy, Cayman 27.
If you or someone you know has a problem with drug addiction, you can have them call Brent Hides from the Hope for Today Foundation on 928-9099.